Alright, Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory to our power Yahweh. Baha Shem Yahweh Shah, Baha Shem Rachak Wadash, double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect of the tabernacles of David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, and wherever you may be, to you I say Shalom, Yashua. Shalom. Alright, I'm not going to hold you too long, just going to be a couple minutes here, this is actually old. This is May 21st, 2025. I don't ever remember hearing about this. It's not super important, but I just want to hit the point. Which is first you have Israel with the and it's funny how because they put it, they post, see the clip, the article here is old, May 21st. I mean, it's this year, but still May 21st. But then the news clip is recent. Okay, so whatever. But to make the point, you have Israel with their so-called Iron Dome, which we know it wasn't what they cracked it up to be, what they talk and boasted to be. And then you had America recently. I don't know if it was the top of this year, like the end of last year, but very recently, talking about building a golden dome for America, right? All this defense stuff here. And so I thought it was interesting here because it says the Kremlin suggests golden dome could lead to resumption of Russia, U.S. arms control contacts. Now the news clip here, it makes it seem like Russia is speaking of a golden dome. Nonetheless, like I said, I'm not going to read into this article. I just played a news clip instead. I just wanted to pull the article up, just to show you there, you can read on this, whatever you like to. The point I want to make about all this dome talk stuff, is a straightforward point. Because according to prophecy, the state of Israel is going to be wiped out, clean from all those heathens that are over there, so we can prepare to go back to our lands. America is going to be wiped out completely. As a matter of fact, let me grab that real quick because I wasn't planning on getting scriptures concerning those things. But it says wholly desolate. Okay, the state of Israel is going to suffer, a great loss and devastation. Maybe we'll get that too. Jeremiah 15:13. Because of the wrath of the Lord Yahweh, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. Now you got to understand what this means here, because ancient Babylon was not desolated and nobody going by hissing at her plagues. This didn't happen to ancient Babylon. Okay, this is talking about Babylon the Great, and Babylon the Great, if you didn't know, is talking about America. Okay, so because of the wrath of Yahweh, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. So America is going to be destroyed by nuclear missiles. And here's the oomph to that. Put yourselves in array against Babylon, round about, all ye that bend the bow. Shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord Yahweh. So all the other nations, your arrows and your bows are the silos or whatever, maybe your submarines or however you're housing the missiles, because the arrows are the actual missiles. So shoot your nukes all at Babylon the Great, including their allies, NATO and the EU. BRICS nations, NATO, EU, all going to launch over at Babylon the Great and destroy it off the earth, for she hath sinned against the Lord Yahweh. Same thing it says in Revelation chapter 18, or as soon as that reached unto heaven, go on, light her up and give her double. Okay. Now as far as the state of Israel, it's one of these chapters of Zechariah. Allow me to find it. Can't remember what chapter it's in, but we'll see if we can come across it here. I believe it might be further back. Oh, nope, here we go. Zechariah 12. Yep. The burden of the word of Yahweh for Israel, saith the Lord Yahweh, which stretcheth forth the heavens, and layeth the foundations of the earth, and formeth the spirit of man within him. Behold, I will make Jerusalem a cup of trembling unto all the people round about, when they shall be in siege, both against Judah and against Jerusalem. Okay, so you have the people that are in the land now, which are heathens, and then you have the case of us actual Israelites, because we're going to be, threatened and come down upon with great wrath. But we're talking about the landmass right now. That's the talking point. It says, in that day I will make Jerusalem a burdensome stone for all people. All that burden themselves with it shall be cut in pieces. though all the people of the earth be gathered together, which is beautiful because it makes me think about what we talked about earlier and recently, the greater Israel plan, which is to expand the state of Israel, taking over West Bank, Gaza, Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, and the portions of Egypt, and whatever else that I didn't mention. There are promises to the real children of Israel, which are not those Amalekites, who are the Israelis, okay, of the Bible, the so-called the Semites, which the forefathers named Shem, which you can find Sem in the New Testament. I believe you can find it in the book of Luke, but we know it just says Sem. Really, it's Shem, okay, or Shem in the Hebrew, okay, our forefathers. So in reality, there's no Semites, Shemites, and we are also Shemites. But nonetheless, they're saying greater Israel, we're going to take over all these lands because these are promised to us, which is a lie. They just, pretending to be us and, to take the blessing of the land that was promised to us as to themselves. The enemy has said against you, aha, even the ancient high places are ours in possession. So they have a particular area, but they're not going to be satisfied until they get all of the area. Okay. And so in that day will I make Jerusalem a burdensome stone for all people. All that burden themselves with it shall be cut in pieces, though all the people of the earth be gathered together against it. And ultimately, that's the same area where all the troops of the earth are going to come and gather in those general areas there and fight on all that soil. Okay. In that day, said the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, I will smite every horse with astonishment and his rider with madness, and I will open mine eyes upon the house of Judah, and I will smite every horse of the people with blindness. Okay. And because ultimately the Lord is going to deliver up the elect and keep them from the said perils. And as far as talk about the actual landmass over there across seas, he's going to jack everything up over there in that general area, just to say it straightforward. So you have America with that Golden Dome talk, but the scriptures say America is going to be wholly desolate because the nukes are going to light that place up. Many other scriptures go into that. State of Israel and all the surrounding area, they're going to get hit up with war, okay? And then to end it off, so if you want to talk about Russia here, 30, I think it's 39 I'm looking for. Okay. Ezekiel 39, right here to it, the water Yahweh Ezekiel 39 and 11. And it shall come to pass in that day that I will give unto Gog a place there of graves in Israel, the valley of the passengers on the east of the sea, and it shall stop the noses of the passengers, and there shall they bury Gog and all his multitude, and they shall call it the valley of Hamon-Gog. So if you're not familiar with what it talks about when it says Gog here, it's talking about Russia, okay? In 7 months shall the house of Israel be burying of them, that they may cleanse the land. Yeah, all the people of the land shall bury them, and it shall be to them a renown, the day that I shall be glorified, said the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And they shall sever out men of continual employment, passing through the land to bury with the passengers those that remain upon the face of the earth, to cleanse it. After the end of 7 months shall they search. Okay, and we can read on. I guess we'll read. And the passengers that pass through the land, when any seeth a man's bone, then shall he set up a sign by it, till the buriers have buried it in the valley of Hamon-Gog. And also the name of the city shall be Hamona. Thus shall they cleanse the land. And we can stop right there because the point was up above. Okay. And they shall bury Gog and all his multitude, the army, and they shall call it the valley of Hamon-Gog. So you have Zechariah dealing with the state of Israel and all that surrounding area over there. Not going to make it. You have America with the and Israel, state of Israel with the talk of a Iron Dome. Then you have America with, Trump coming out with the talks of a Golden Dome, but the scriptures in Jeremiah say it's going to be wholly desolate and no one's ever going to live here again. Okay, other prophets mention the same thing about destruction of Babylon the Great. And then also when you're talking about Russia, whether Russians talk about a Golden Dome for themselves or not doesn't even matter, because we just read what the prophecy is of Ezekiel chapter 39, that Russia and his army will also be destroyed in the coming war. So it doesn't matter about an Iron Dome, a Golden Dome, or a regular dome, okay? These nations, okay, are going to suffer great devastation from the Heavenly Father. As a matter of fact, let's end on this one. And we'll shut it down because I want it to be brief. And we'll go right over here to a familiar scripture, Isaiah 66 and 15. For behold, the Lord Yahweh will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by a sword with the Lord Yahweh plead with all flesh. Okay. And the slain of the Lord Yahweh shall be many. Okay. And even especially when you're talking about the gathering of all these troops for World War III. Okay. So that's it. Hit the clip for you. That's all I have for you. Shalom.
The world is once again on the brink of a new arms race with some chilling echoes of the Cold War. Russia is declaring its need for a complete nuclear defense overhaul. The new plan, a nuclear shield for Russia, is now being seen as a direct response to what Moscow calls the colossal threats from a new and a very uncertain world order. Take a look.
Moscow has launched war drills in the Sea of Japan. There is another simultaneous drills in the Baltics. Missiles fired. Warships in action. Fighter jets roaring overhead. A display time to prove that Russia can strike much beyond its borders. Russian nuclear-capable bombers are patrolling near the coast of Alaska. Moscow calls these routine drills, but the message is loud and clear. The West is signaling back. President Trump says US can provide direct air support to Ukraine, setting up the chilling possibility of Russian and American jets facing one another in the skies. Europe is busy with plans about sending its own troops into Ukraine, boots on the ground, a move Moscow has already warned would be unacceptable. Three weeks ago, Trump ordered the deployment of US submarines, the American submarines, a reminder that this crisis is nuclear at its very core. The geopolitical chessboard is being reset, and the moves are chillingly familiar. As the US advances its futuristic Golden Dome missiles defense shield, Russia is now declaring its intent to build its own. The head of Russia's state nuclear corporation has announced that the country's nuclear shield must be strengthened due to what he terms are colossal threats. It is a move that signals a dangerous new chapter in the arms race, one driven by a profound sense of insecurity and mutual suspicion. Russia has about more than 5,500 nuclear warheads, and the United States has about 5,000, a total of about 87% of the world's total nukes. China is the world's third largest nuclear power with about 500 warheads, followed by France with 290, Britain with 225, India with 172, Pakistan with 170. And now things are going to get even more tense with the superpowers flexing their nuclear muscle. Bureau Report, VON, World is One.